Hello, my name is Tuli and this is Sewdrama. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to make face masks because the world needs them right now. I'm going to show you how to make a face mask without any needles. This way we don't compromise the fabric and put unnecessary holes in it. So here's your pattern. I've cut this material 9 inches this way and 6 inches this way. Now, if you want your face mask to be a little wider on your face, you can go ahead and cut this at 7 and then it'll tuck under the chin a little bit more. On the flip side, if you're making this for a child, this is going to be 8 and this is going to be 5. Your seams are going to be 1/4 of an inch. Let's get started. So first you can make yourself a pattern out of paper just because it's faster. You can make your notes on there. I went ahead and I cut my material. I just decided to use 2 different colors. You can use what you want as long as it's a tightly woven cotton. So let's go ahead and put these 2 pieces together. Now what we're going to do is we're going to sew 1/4 inch seam from here to about the middle, and then again from here to the end. And this leaves us a space. Leave yourself a generous space like this much so you don't struggle and you can work quicker because this is where we're going to be turning it later. So across the 9 inch side, you're going to sew a 1/4 inch seam from here to here, and then leave this open, and then sew a seam from here to here. And then on this side, go ahead and sew your 1/4 inch seam all the way across. I'll meet you back here. Welcome back. So we've sewn our 1/4 inch seam on the 9 inch length and also here, leaving ourselves a little gap for turning it later on. Now, one of the things that I want to say is nationwide, I've noticed that there is a shortage on elastic. There's almost none to be had unless you're buying internationally, which in that case, we're not getting that until May. So what I've done is I've tested this out. This is by Hildy and Joe. It's elastic cord. It's comfortable behind the ears. It's very stretchy, very durable, and it comes in different colors. I picked this up at Joann's, but it's probably all over the place. So that's what we're using today. One of the other things that I did, because you can just sew these right in, but what I did to make sure it had just some extra oomph is I just dipped each end in hot glue just so that it would have something to hang on to. Also, it makes it easier for me to sew it in because if I didn't put something on the end here, what I would then do is loop it. And if you don't have hot glue, you can do this. You can just loop it just so that your needle has something a little more to hold on to. But we have 2 of these and they're cut at 7 inches. So let's go ahead and get these in. What we're going to do is we're going to drop this right down in there on our 6 inch side. And we're going to butt it right up against that seam that we already sewed, leaving the hot glue end poking out and leaving a little bit of this poking out. I use clips because I don't want any needles. If you don't have these, this is what all of us seamstresses are using these days, but I realize right now everyone is making masks. You may not have all of these things available to you. You can use this, or don't use anything at all. Just hold it in place, stitch it down, put your other side up, stitch it down. There's a way to do everything without all the fanciness. So I'm going to grab this other side and I'm going to put that one in place too. And I'm going to put it all the way up against the edge here with a little bit poking out. And I'm going to put my clip in place. Okay, and then we're going to do the other side. Same thing. Next, we're going to take this to the sewing machine and we're going to stitch down these 6-inch sides. And when you do so, backstitch quite a bit right here, just to make sure you've got everything in there. Whether you're using elastic or a substitute, stitch it in really well. Move your elastic out of the way. Make sure you're not going to cause yourself some extra work. Okay, I'm going to stitch this right here, 1/4 inch, and this as well, and meet you back here. Okay, welcome back and good job. We've got everything stitched in. So now we're going to our open space over here and we're going to turn it. Just use your finger to poke out the corners. Okay, go ahead and give these a test pull and make sure that they're not compromised in any kind of way, because once we pass this point, it's kind of too late. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and give this a press so it's easier to work with. This later on is going to be folded under and stitched down like this, so it's just easier to handle if you give it a press. All right, so now I'm going to show you this. What I've done is I've made 9 dots 1/2 inch apart. There's 9 of them. So you can take this and you can just center it here. I figured this was the easiest way to show everybody. This is where our pleats are going to be. So just make little marks that you can follow along with. Like this. And then you can take this and pair it up nicely. Use this as your new template. Right there. We are almost set. Okay. Now we're going to make our pleats. So what you want to do is you want to connect every other dot. So we're going to take this dot and connect it to that dot. Okay, hold it with your clip, and then we're going to take this dot, connect it with that dot. Look here and make sure that they're not overlapping, because that'll create a lot of unnecessary bulk. Just adjust it how you need it. Okay, and then we're going to take this dot and connect it with this dot, just like that. All right, now we have our pleats. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing on this side. Make sure that all your pleats are folded in the same direction, or you're going to be mad at yourself and have to redo it later. So let's go ahead and connect these. Look on the side to make sure that all looks good. Thank you for not using needles. It's a little more of a hassle having to maneuver clips, but it is appreciated. All right, so now we're just gonna, in order for us to be able to sew this, we need everything to stay in place without our hooks. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna press this, and we're gonna take these, we're gonna press the middle, take these hooks out, press it to the end, and I'll meet you back here. Good job and welcome back. Now that we have everything pressed, it'll stay in place for when we sew it. Go ahead and sew your seam 1/4 inch here. And you can sew very close to the edge right here on the 9-inch sides, being careful not to catch your fold underneath. And then Over here again, a 1/4 inch seam, and then if you like, you can sew very close to the edge here. And I'll meet you back here. Okay, beautiful people and helper of sewing masks. Here we go, it's done. There it is, nice comfortable fit, durable. So before I close this video, I want to talk about the fact that elastic is very difficult to find right now. Because there's so many masks needed, honestly, you can use anything right here as long as it goes behind the ears and has maybe a little bit of stretch to it. Get creative and figure out what you can use. As far as materials, just any woven cotton. If you have an old sheet, throw it in the wash, throw it in the dryer, cut it up and use that. Use 2 pieces. If it's really thin, you might want to use 3 pieces. Right now, this is not sponsored, I wish it was, but right now Joann Fabrics has these prints on sale for $2.99 each, or $2.99 a yard. So that's super cheap. For some people that can be affordable. It's certainly what I did, as well as I have a sewing studio for the last 20 years, so I have an awful lot of fabric laying around that is in the wash now, and I will be making many more masks. Later I'm probably going to post another video of some different mask options, but these are the ones that are fast and quick to make. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe to my channel and stay safe out there. Bye.